I never imagined I'd be the one telling a story like this. I always believed in loyalty, in sticking by the person you loved, in the idea that when two people truly care for each other, they didn't need anything or anyone else. That's what I thought. Love was solid, steady, safe. But I was wrong. It happened on a regular afternoon. Nothing unusual about it. We were sitting in our favorite cafe, the place where we had so many memories. She was stirring her coffee absent-mindedly, eyes darting anywhere but mine. Then, almost too casually, she looked up and dropped it. "I think we should try an open relationship." At first, I laughed. I thought she was joking, but there was no smile, no punchline. She was serious. "It could be fun," she said, like we were trying out a new playlist or visiting a different bar. "We love each other, right? This won't change that. It'll just add to it." The words hit me hard, like a punch in the gut. 3 years. 3 years of love, plans, shared secrets. The belief that we were enough for each other, gone just like that. All wrapped up in a single sentence over coffee. I asked her, plain and calm, though my heart was racing, "Are you seeing someone else?" She had the nerve to laugh. "No, not yet. But I think about it sometimes, and I don't want to feel bad about it." So that was it. She didn't want to feel guilty. What about me? What about everything I had poured into us? I tried to stay composed, took a breath, looked her in the eye. "Let me get this straight," I said. "You love me, but you want the freedom to be with other people too?" She nodded, relieved I wasn't making a scene. "And I want the same for you," she added. "No lies, no secrets, just freedom." But that wasn't freedom. That was betrayal dressed up in sweet modern language. That was someone trying to keep the safety net while reaching for more. I could have argued, pleaded, tried to fix what was clearly broken. But something in me shifted. Maybe it was the way she looked so at ease while undoing everything we had. Or maybe it was a quiet realization that I had been replaced before she even said a word. So instead, I leaned back, forced a breath, and said, "You know what? You're right. Maybe we should." She blinked, surprised by how easily I agreed. "Really?" I smiled just a little. "Yeah, if that's what you want, let's go for it." And just like that, the tables turned. The change in Madison was immediate. It was like she'd been handed exactly what she wanted. She beamed like she'd won some prize. "Wow, I didn't think you'd be so open-minded," she said, taking another sip of her coffee, completely unaware that she just walked into the biggest setup of her life. For the next week, I played along. She started dressing up more, coming home late, answering texts with short, vague replies. She still pretended we were the same couple, still used all the old pet names and routines. But the warmth was gone. I knew she already had someone in mind. I just let her believe she was in control. Meanwhile, I made my move. There was someone I hadn't talked to in a while, Lauren. We'd known each other for years, always got along. She was strong, honest, the kind of woman who never settled for half effort. Back when I was with Madison, it had always been strictly platonic. But now I was free. I sent her a simple message. "Hey, it's been a while. Want to grab dinner and catch up?" Her response came fast. "Wow, didn't expect this, but I'd love to." When we met, it just clicked. The conversation flowed. She laughed at my dumb jokes. She listened. She actually saw me. It felt real in a way that things with Madison hadn't for a long time. We saw each other a few times that week, and with every meeting, I felt myself coming back to life. Then came the moment Madison decided to check and test the waters. Maybe we were lounging on the couch, her phone in hand, scrolling like it was just another evening. So she started, barely looking at me. "Have you met anyone yet?" I didn't flinch. "Yeah, actually I have." Her smile faltered for a split second. She tried to cover it, acting nonchalant. "Wow, that was quick. Who is it?" I waited a beat, then another, then looked her straight in the eye. "Lauren." Everything about her froze. "Wait, Lauren? My friend Lauren?" I gave her the smallest smile. "Yeah, we've really hit it off." It was like the air got sucked out of the room. Her smirk vanished. Her body stiffened. For the first time since she dropped the open relationship idea, She looked like she'd lost control. You're joking. Nope. I said it simply, calmly, like I was reading the weather. And in that moment, her fantasy came crashing down. She thought she could rewrite the rules and still be the one holding the pen. She never expected I'd be the one to turn the page. She's amazing. We just click, have so much in common. Madison blinked, trying to take in what I just said. Her lips curled into a smile, but didn't quite make it to her eyes. That's surprising, she said, her voice a little too high. I didn't think she was your type. I shrugged, trying to play it off. Maybe I just didn't see it before. But now that I do, I can't stop thinking about her. I watched the words hit her like a slow slap. Her grip on her phone tightened. She was doing her best to stay cool, pretending this was fine, just like I had when she first brought up this whole open relationship idea. But I could see it, the cracks in her mask. Well, that's great, she said, letting out a brittle laugh. I mean, that's what we agreed to, right? Meeting new people. Exactly. I nodded, and honestly, I didn't expect to feel this way so fast, but Lauren, she just gets me, you know? Madison's jaw tightened. Yeah, sure, I get it. Silence stretched between us, thick and awkward. I could practically hear her mind racing. This wasn't how she thought things would go. She suggested the open relationship, sure, but she never expected me to actually go through with it, and definitely not with someone she knew. I kept my tone light, like we were just having a casual chat. What about you? Anyone interesting? There was a tiny pause, barely a heartbeat, but I noticed. No, she said way too fast. I mean, I've been talking to people, but nothing serious. I tilted my head, smiling just a little. Oh, really? I thought this was supposed to be fun. Exciting. Isn't that what you wanted? She let out a short, tight laugh. Yeah, of course it's fun. I didn't think you'd move on that fast. There it was. She hadn't expected me to take the idea and run with it. She figured she'd explore her options while I stayed loyal and waited in the background. But now the tables had turned, and she hated it. Things got weird after that. Madison started acting different, suddenly more affectionate, touching me more, laughing a little too hard at my jokes. It was like she was trying to pull me back in, remind me of what we had. But I wasn't playing anymore. Lauren and I kept seeing each other. And the more time I spent with her, the more obvious it became. This wasn't some rebound. She was everything Madison wasn't. Honest, sincere, no games, no hidden motives. She wanted me openly and without conditions. And Madison, she was starting to realize she'd made a huge mistake. The final blow came a week later. I was getting ready to head out when Madison walked into the room, arms crossed and jaw clenched. So, she started, voice tight. "You're really go out with Lauren again?" I looked over at her, raising a brow. "Yeah. Why?" She let out a sharp breath, eyes flashing. I don't get it. You really like her that much?" I met her gaze, steady and calm. "Yeah, Madison, I do." Her lips parted like she had something to say, but nothing came out. She just stood there, staring at me. And for the first time since all this started, she looked uncertain, maybe even scared. I could see it all playing out in her eyes. The regret, the realization that she'd miscalculated. She thought she could have it all. Keep me around while she tested the waters. But now she saw what it looked like to lose me. I adjusted my shirt in the mirror, keeping my tone casual. "Was there something you want to talk about?" She hesitated. I don't understand." "Why her?" I turned to face her. "Why not her?" Madison shook her head, frustration bleeding into her voice. "I just didn't think you'd go for Lauren." "No," I said. "You didn't think I'd go for anyone. You thought I'd just sit here and wait for you to come back when you were done having fun." She flinched, caught off guard. "That's not what I raised a hand, cutting her off. "You wanted an open relationship. This is what it looks like. You don't get to decide who I see. You don't get to rewrite the rules just because you didn't expect this." She swallowed hard, shifting uncomfortably. "But it's Lauren." I let out a dry laugh. "Yeah, and you know what? She actually sees me. She doesn't play games." She doesn't keep me as a backup while she shops around for someone better. Madison looked like she wanted to argue, like she was searching for something to say that would make me change my mind. But she had nothing, because deep down, she knew I was right. I grabbed my keys and turned back one last time. You wanted freedom, Madison. You got it. Hope it was worth it. That night, Lauren and I went out to a new spot, a place I knew Madison liked. I didn't plan it, or at least, that's what I told myself. But when we walked in and I spotted her in the back with her friends, I didn't avoid her. I didn't look away. I smiled. Lauren and I grabbed a table up front, completely wrapped up in each other. And Madison, she watched from across the room, her face pale, her fingers wrapped too tightly around her glass. For the first time, she was the one on the outside. For the first time, she had to live with the consequences. And the best part? I didn't feel bad. Not even a little. Because this time I won.